Okie dokie, up 7-3, and thanks very much for the call. Very, very nice to be able to work the Hawaiian Islands. Been there a few times. It's always very, very refreshing, especially for a person like myself from the flatlands of Minnesota. Pretty boring here. Out there you have the ocean, wonderful weather, and of course the mountains. So very, 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 very refreshing. Real good. Let's see, 7-3 Sonny, thank you very much again. Hey, by the way, if you would like, look me up in K0JTA.com. Look me up in K0JTA.com. At the top of that link, at the top of that page, there's a link to go to my live video feed, which I have just now turned on. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Well, okay, it's recording now. It's presenting and also recording right now. But I did not turn it on until just a few seconds ago. So if you look me up in K0JTA.com, go to the top of that K0JTA.com webpage, there's a link in bright red. Click on that red link and that'll take you to where you need to go. So K6 Charlie Brown, good afternoon, Sonny. K0JTA, over. Very good, 7-3. All right, station was in there. I think it was Lou. I'm not real sure. This is K0JTA standing by for the relay station. Over.
Oh, yes. K0JTA in the software defined radio group. This is Kilo India 6 Uniform Mike. Mike, you have a good signal here today. However, I was listening to you and to Sonny on the Utah WebSDR perfectly. Sonny was coming in very loud and clear on Utah, and as well as you. Okay, back to you, excuse me. Back to you, Mike. K0JTA in the software defined radio group. This is KI6UM.
Okay, real good. Your signal, of course, is very, very good here. Nice signal today. Much better than it has been for quite some time. You know, I have the Utah WebSDR running, and I'm watching my signal there, and I can't listen to it because I get feedback here. But just watching my signal, I see it does have a presence there. It's not wildly strong, but it at least is there. So I never even thought about looking at Sonny's signal on WebSDR. Very, very, very cool idea, though. So, yeah, well, I was telling Sonny there, it's a pretty nice day here, 82.4 degrees. Humidity as well. Now it's showing 49%. It was showing 50% here earlier. But just a very, very nice day here at least for our considerations here in the flatlands of Minnesota. KS6UM, good afternoon to you. Nice to hear you on. K0JTA, over.
Oh, yeah, a little pause there and someone wants to break in. K0JTA in the software defined radio group, KI6UM. Very good, Mike, very good. Well, you've got a good signal in Utah and also the rest. Either way, I copy you 100%. And fine on your weather, that's humidity is not too high. We have a very dry day here, but it's going to be in the 90s, which is normal for this time of the year. Last week we had a few of 104, 105, but luckily it doesn't last all week. All right, back to you, and might be somebody else waiting on the wings there, Mike. K0JTA in the software-defined radio group, KI6UM.
Okay, real good. Well, it's interesting on your weather out there. 90 degrees, boy, that's going to be pretty darn warm. But if your humidity is down, that does help. Do you have any idea what your humidity is right now, Lou, over?
I'll find out in a second here. Usually it's always below 40%, but hang on, I'm bringing it up with the computer here.
40%, wow, that is really low. I spent about 3 or so years in the San Diego area, south of San Diego. I was in the Navy, if you recall. I was a rescue air crewman on a helicopter as well as being an avionics technician, so I had 2 really good jobs that I really, really enjoyed. I don't recall what the immunity was back then, but it was always, I always had the joke that, the weatherman could be recording because it was just so typical of Southern California. That was, some overcast and then burning off at 10 o'clock and the temperature's going to be 72 degrees or whatever it is and things like that. It was just the same thing. It was just the same litany, nothing to talk about, no news. So it was almost common to the point that we were joking that it could be recording because it always fit, it seems like. K6UM, K0JTA, over.
Very good, very good. Yes, well, we were in the same area. I was stationed at North Island from 67 to 69, and you must have been at the Imperial Beach, the helicopter squadrons there. Yeah, I was attached to an anti-submarine squadron, the S2Es. So I'm familiar with the San Diego area. It was very nice then. I have been back recently in the last few years, and it's not as good as it used to be. That big bridge they put across that bay kind of changed everything. Oh, the good old days in San Diego. I had a great time there. But now it's very crowded and very expensive. Anyway, very good, Mike. So back to you. K0JTA in the software-defined radio group, KI6UM.
Okay, very interesting. Yeah, we had anti-submarine warfare squadrons. Well, Imperial Beach, if you ever got down there, it was, I'm trying to guess now, 4, maybe 5 squadrons, maybe only 3 or 4, I don't even know now. But it was squadrons of helicopters. We did have some fixed-wing airplanes there too, but that was almost the exception as far as the naval type equipment. And HC-1 is where I was a member of that one. And that would have been from, I went to boot camp out there in 64, and then spent about a year in Memphis, Tennessee, going to the various electronic schools. Got a very, very, very good education out there as a result. And then I was assigned to, of all things, well, I took many schools, one of which was to learn code. And of course I had this aptitude for code because I had been a ham radio operator. Well, I still was, and I guess I still am. But kind of interesting. So I had one of those schools, which I think was only a 2-week school, but I mean, I went to various schools and things like that. The rest of them were dealing primarily with electronics and or particular pieces of equipment, avionics. But so then we got our orders, and I got an order for the HU-1 back then, Helicopter Utility Squadron 1. And just the thought went to me, code operators on a helicopter didn't make sense. Turns out they did have HF on the helicopter, but that was kind of a joke to myself at least. But in the Imperial Beach there were anti-submarine warfare squadrons, and I think that was the primary thing. HU-1 then became HC-1, which is Helicopter Combat Support Squadron 1, and I think that change of name was because of the activity of the Vietnam War. And I was enlisted from 64 through 68, just a little over, maybe about 2 months more than 4 years. K6UM, K0JTA, over.
Okay, Mike, I leave a little pause in there in case somebody is trying to get it. Very good, very good. Yeah, I was in from 66 to 69. I got an early out because when we came back from the Vietnam cruise, our squadron was disbanded, and they put me on a training squadron, and within a few months they let me go because there was a reduction in forces. So I got out a little earlier. So when people ask me, how long were you in the Navy? And I say, 3 years and 30 minutes. Aye. Anyway, I had a good time. I spent a great deal of time in school, primarily for the anti-submarine warfare. We had to learn how to detect submarines, how to identify ships, and how to tell the difference between the sounds of propellers and whales and things like that. It was very interesting. The hops we flew were about 6 hours and kept you very busy. Okay, back to you, Mike. K0JTA in the software-defined radio group, KI6UM.
Okay, real good. Quick question. What ship were you on then? You said you were in the Vietnam area. I suppose you were ship-based, or were you land-based in Vietnam, over?
I was aboard the Yorktown, the CVA-10. CVS. CVS was the entire submarine warfare, and CVA is the attack carrier. I was aboard the CVS-10, the Yorktown. Over.
Okay, real good. Yeah, I was aboard the Bon Richard CVA-31, I think it was. So, yeah, very interesting. I don't know if we ever came alongside the Yorktown, but I'm sure we did. There was various things that we did gather for, like, the Forestall incident, things like that. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and I can imagine the stuff you had to learn there. A lot of it is just the perception. The human brain is much better than the computers. Maybe now the computers are better, but learning how to identify even ships and submarines, of course, by the sound of their propeller. They had a characteristic or a personality. So, wow, pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool. It's just what can I say? Alrighty. Let's see. You may have told me about this before, but I just had simply forgotten. So, yeah, very interesting that you were down there at North Island. One time I went to a survival school, and the first day after the training was that we camped out there on the beach at North Island, and they taught us how to catch anything we could, snails and things like that. So we made a soup out of the stuff, had some food, and then they took us up in the hills, and then we went to the survival school, and that was a week-long thing, as I recall. So that was a rather interesting kind of a thing. Getting close to the regime or whatever of the, what do they call it now, the seals, yeah. I thought about going into the seals one time, and I'm wondering about it, I figured, well, this is good enough. So, yeah, I'll let you make your comments, and I'll go ahead and see if there's anybody that might be here for the software-defined radio group. This is K0JTA. Go ahead there, Lou, over.
Very good, Mike. I went to the same school. We camped on the beach. We found anything we could throw in the pot. Somebody found a dead seagull. So we took the feathers off, threw it in there. It tasted like hell. But when we went to Water Springs up outside San Bernardino, somewhere around by LA, we were there for a week. I lost 10 pounds. Because the only thing I ate there was a bit of rice, a handful of rice now and then. I couldn't care less for the snakes and for the whatever they do in the pot. It was a good experience. Well, the interrogation was not too bad. They tried a little bit of boarding. That was not too bad. They didn't get carried away. All right, very good. Let's continue with senior moment. All right. Okay. Back to you, Mike. K0JTA, the software-defined radio group, KI6UM. Let's continue with the net, okay?
Okay, real good. Yeah, interesting. Warm Springs. Yeah, I forgot that term also. I know that we had various things to nibble on too, and I guess somehow we caught a rabbit, which should have been good. But then I don't know how this would have happened. You wouldn't think this would be a survival thing, but the memory comes up that we had salt available. And I don't know how this ever came to be. At any rate, the salt that was put into the pot there with the rabbit and whatever tidbits of foliage we thought we could eat was far too much salt. So that was kind of unfortunate. So yeah, interrogation, all this kind of stuff, that was rather interesting. It's a long gone memory, but yeah, very, very cool. All right, let's see. This is K0JTA. This is the software-defined radio group. We meet each Sunday here at 12:30 local time here in Minnesota. So it could be 18:30 Zulu or 17:30 Zulu, depending on the presence or absence of daylight savings time. My name is Mike. I'm in southeastern Minnesota. I'm running an Apache Labs Anon 7000 DLE, running about 35 watts into a little ALS 600 amplifier, which is giving me a nice solid very close to 400 watts of output power. My antenna is a 75 meter loop antenna. Look if anybody that would like to join in. No requirements. If you have an interest in the SDR, socket defined radio is fine. If you don't, that's okay too. K0JTA is standing by for any possible check-ins. Over.
Whiskey Bravo 6, Juliet, Foxtrot of the Hill. Oh, good morning, Mike.
Got two there, missed one. WB6GFH, good afternoon there. GFI rather. My hand scratching here is really very bad. Even I can't read it. WB6GFH, Mr. David, please stand by. There was somebody else in there. Who else would like to check in? K0JTA, over. Okay, I'm not sure about the call. KC0YWC. I have Kilo Charlie 0 Yankee Whiskey Charlie. Is that correct? Over.
First character Alpha. First character Alpha. Go ahead.
Okay, Alpha Yankee Whiskey. Is that correct? Over.
Alpha Charlie Whiskey.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, that's what I was confused. Okay, so Kilo Charlie 0 Alpha Charlie Whiskey. Very, very good. All right, your signal not terribly strong here. Somehow I thought you said Duluth. What is your location, just out of curiosity? If then I'll pass it up to Mr. WB6JFI. Cases are ACW. Give me your name and location. I'll be right back to you. Over.
Name is David, and location is 65 miles east of Branson, Missouri.
Okay, really just getting this written down. 65 miles east of Branson, Missouri. Very good, David. I'll be right back with you then. WB6GFA, another David here. Go ahead. How are you doing today? Over.
K0JTA in the group. WB6JFH. Doing really good, Mike. Doing really good, Mike. I have some information on networks and Bardem and stuff like that for later in the talking in the group and stuff. And by the way, the NA call you were talking to was NHSD, or Hotel Sierra Delta. And I could copy him. He was just above the noise level, but was copyable here. So, and I can barely hear Lou at the moment, but I can tell he's there. And the call, or the Missouri station is copyable here as well. K0JTA in the group, WB6JFH. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm confused. So I guess the first station there, Sonny, out there in Honolulu, I have his call as Kilo Hotel 6 Charlie Bravo. Now, what other call did I get messed up, or what? Yeah, please re-explain. Over.
Okay, it was the first station that came on. The November 8 station. The November 8 station. Before you talked to the guy in Hawaii, which I couldn't hear at all because the being pointed at you, not at the South Pacific. That was the number 8, HSD, or Hotel Sugar Delta. The very first guy I heard you talking to.
Oh, okay, very good. Yeah, I got him scratched off here. That's why I wasn't able to hear him. Okay. Do you know what his name and location is? Over.
I didn't get that stuff. I just got caught into the last part of the your attempt to talk to him, stuff like that. So anyway, but he did repeat the call several times, so you can write it down as HSD, or Hotel Sierra Delta. Go ahead.
Okay, real good. I do have that written down. Yeah, he was portable. Did he happen to mention his location? I'm curious about that. Over.
He was in Colorado. Running 5 watts. Running 5 watts or QRP. Go ahead.
My goodness. Okay, 5 watts. Yeah, no wonder. And I'm running about pretty close to 400 watts here, so I guess you can see why he was able to hear me, but I was having a rough time with him. Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you brought that up to me then. And good on your doing well and things like that. And you mentioned the information on networking and things like that. Well, you want to offer the information here? Just give a summary, then we can move on to K0ACW, Mr. David in Branson. Yeah, give me a short summary of what's going on there with the networking situation there, David. WB6GFI in the SDR group. This is K0JTA in southeastern Minnesota. Over.
Okay, Mike, why don't you pick the other guy up? Pick the other guy up in Branson, and we can talk about this a little bit later. By the way, for the H at the end of my call is Juliet Foxtrot Hotel. Okay, so why don't you go ahead and pick him up, and then we can talk later about mesh networking and hardening and all that stuff. K0JTA and Software Defined Radio Group, WB6JFH.
Okay, real good. Sorry about that error. For some reason, I was just pretty darn sure it was a JFI. I do have a JFI up in this neck of the woods, and the more I think about it here, it's a 0, of course. So, yep, sorry about that. I do have it now corrected, WB6JFH. Thank you very much for correcting me. Okay, K0 ACW, Mr. David, east of Branson. Are you still there, and what would you like to say to us? Here's K0JTA, over.
Well, I'm still here. Don't know how well you'll copy me. Only outputting about 90 watts. I have a 160 meter loop, approximately 50 feet in the air. It's driven right now by a 7300 icon. And,
Did you turn over? Over.
yeah, I thought you had trouble hearing me. This is AC0YW, and go ahead with your turn.
Okay, no, I'm hearing you fine. It's just that I didn't, I was listening there and all of a sudden the audio stopped and I figured, we must have turned it over. No, I'm hearing you fine. Matter of fact, I'll play back a little bit. Here it comes. Okay, I don't know how that came through. Here now I got some RF in my speakers, so hopefully you're not getting a crappy signal from my transmitting lash up here. But okay, on the 7300, yeah, I got one sitting right here at my elbow, so that's a real nice radio, by the way. And your 160 meter loop antenna. You must be using a tuner then, or how do you make your 7300 match up or load into your 160 meter loop your loop antenna? Over.
The 5300 and 450 ohm ladder line through the loop.
Okay, 450 ohm window line. Okay, that then must go to a balun or to a tuner. Over.
Yeah, I have I forgot this. I have a
Okay, I missed what kind of balun you have there, but yeah. Yeah, in my case, I'm running my amplifier into a LFJ 998 tuner, and that then has about maybe 10 feet of RG8 coax that goes out to a 4-to-1 current balun made by Balun Designs, and then from there about 100 or so feet, yeah, maybe 125 feet of 450 ohm window line to the corner of the 75 meter loop antenna. My 75 meter loop antenna is 35 feet up off the ground. Go ahead there, David, over. K0ACW, K0JTA, over.
Yeah, I apologize. I couldn't hit about half, and turned out it was every other word. So I didn't get much out of that last transmission. AC0YW, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, your signal's really building up here. I'm going to play back just a little short snippet to kind of prove that. Here it comes. Okay, I'll chop it off there, but yeah, your signal's actually building to me. So rather interesting. Yeah, I'm still showing just a scant 400 watts here, just under 400 watts, and your signal's actually building to me. So, but I was curious though, with your IC7300, are you using a built-in antenna tuner, or do you have an external antenna tuner? Because you're using your 160 antenna on 20 meters here, which is rather curious. K0 ACW, K0JTA, over.
AC0YW back returning. I have an LDG Electronics AT7000 that is slaved into the back of my 5300 to allow me to operate this loop. And I have a 2-to-1 balance design, 3 kW balance that I've got for the 450 ohm ladder line. Go ahead.
Okay, 2-to-1 ratio, you said, over.
Yes, that's correct. The length of my 450 ohm line doesn't allow, well, it's not, it's less than 100 feet, so I have a serious tuning problem. Trying to keep me a feet at a higher level. It always wants to settle in around 10 to 12 ohms, which is a little difficult for the 7300 tuner to handle. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, that would be darn sure. Yeah, and I know that I in the past have had a lot of trouble getting on a 160 here myself. Matter of fact, I've in my downstairs shop, I gave up. I had various tuners. My last one was a MFJ 993B, which has a wider range, but it would not do it either. I could not tune up. Well, I got a west 75 meter loop antenna and the north one. I'm on the north one right now, but the west one was the one that I wanted to run because it's down there in the basement shop. And so I retired that 993B. Before that I had a 993. Anyway, retired the 993 series, and I put in an ICOM AH4, and that thing is it's really quite a tuner. I've never been able to have that thing not achieve a match. Of course, the match would be totally ridiculous as far as being actually functional. For example, many times I've forgotten to throw the knife switch on a previous lash up here, and I would have the AH4 loading up on 75 meters to a 19-inch piece, maybe an 18-inch piece of 450 ohm window line that goes to an open switch. And so that, of course, that made signals kind of poor and people couldn't hear me and things like that. So it was basically a dummy mode. But it did give the radio a 1-to-1 match, which is just almost ridiculous, but quite wonderful. And I have your call as Kilo Charlie 0 ACW, but I'm not sure if it's a Alpha Charlie 0 Alpha Charlie Whiskey. Give me that, David, then I'll go ahead and move on, over.
Okay, my apologies. My call is AC0YW. I'm sitting here looking at an SC1000 that I had in a previous setup, but I haven't got my lash up to accommodate that yet. So that's why I'm only running 90 watts. Anyway, Alpha Charlie 0 Yankee Whiskey. Go ahead.
Okay, got it now. Boy, that was a long ways off there. Alpha Charlie 0 Yankee Whiskey. Okay, very, very good. Very, very good. I'm having a rough time with calls like even David, their WB6JFH. I had him assigned as a WB6JFI, and I've known David for years and years. So just having a bad call day, I guess. Like a bad hair day, maybe, I don't know. But, yep, well, good. Well, welcome aboard and this kind of stuff. And, by the way, if you look me up on K0JTA.com, you look at the top of the page there, there's a link in bright red. Click on that, that'll take you to YouTube. And once you're there, you'll see that there's a bunch of icons, one of which in the upper left-hand corner will have some red text under it, like Live Now. I'm not looking at it now, but I mean, that's what should be there if it's working. I'm not seeing any error reports and this kind of stuff, but that's what should be there. Once you're there, you can see what I'm seeing and hear what I'm hearing and listen to your own signal, things like that. So once again, the call is Kilo 0 Juliet Tango Alpha. So look that up in K0JTA.com and click on the link at the top of that page. It'll take you to YouTube, and then click on that one link that says something about Live Now, and that'll take you there. So, AC0YW, nice to have you aboard, David. We meet every Sunday here at 12:30 local time, which would be 18:30 or 17:30 Zulu. AC0YW, thanks for the correction call. K0JTA, over. Maybe faded out. AC0YW, K0JTA, over. guess so. Anybody else who'd like to join in with the software-defined radio group? This is K0JTA, Mike in southeastern Minnesota. Over. Kilo Charlie 3 Juliet, and I missed the rest. Kilo Charlie 3 Juliet. Over. Okay, I have your call as Kilo Charlie 3 Juliet Delta Juliet. Okay, my call is Kilo 0 Juliet Tango Alpha. Kilo 0 Juliet Tango Alpha, or K0 Japan, Tokyo, America. Over.
Not sure if I got the call. Kilo 0
Roger that, roger that. Kilo K0JTA, Kilo 0 Juliet Tango Alpha. Now look me up in K0JTA.com, click on the link at the top of the page, and that'll take you to a site that you'll be able to see what I'm looking at here on my computer. KC3 Juliet Delta Juliet, K0JTA. Over.
KC3 Juliet Delta Juliet, 255 into Pennsylvania. I need Mike. USL 72.
Okay, real good. You're not coming in wildly strong. I did catch just a short recording, and here's her coming in on my end. Here it comes. Okay, so very good, Jim. I didn't even, I listened to the recording. I see your name is Jim, so real good on that. What are you running for radio and things like that there, Jim? KC3JDJ, K0JTA. Over.
I have a little bit of a tough time picking you up, but could I get your name, please?
Sure, my name is Mike. Over.
Okay, Mike, I did get that, and like I say, hard time getting you out of the mud.
Yeah, that's okay. It's not terribly good here either. So, and let's see, did you ask me a question? I'm sorry, did you ask me a question? My name, once again, is Mike. Mike India Kilo Echo. Mike India Kilo Echo. Over.
I was asking if you're a special event or if you're an event. Over.
No special event. It's just basically a gathering of people that have an interest in software-defined radios. Just a general meeting here every Sunday at 17:30 or 18:30 Zulu, depending on daylight savings time. Over.
Yeah, I'm going to go to your call on K0JTA. I should be able to find more information. I appreciate the call. 7-3.
Okay, real good job. What's your radio? Over.
I'm using a K0JTA. Using a K0JTA 891 with the and I'm using a super antenna. I don't know if you've heard of that, but a super antenna. Over.
No, I have not heard of that antenna, but okay, your FT891, real good. I'm running an AM 7000 here, which is a software-defined radio, running about 35 watts into a little ALS 600 amplifier. So I'm running about 400 watts, and my antenna is a 75-meter loop antenna. 7.3 then, Jim. Sorry, the conditions are not good. K3, Juliet Delta Juliet, K0JTA. Over.
That's KC3JDJ. Glad to have the time all with you, and I have your call. Kilo 0 Juliet Tango Alpha. Over.
That's correct. Kilo 0 Juliet Tango Alpha, or Japan, Tokyo, America. Over.
Thank you. Appreciate the chatter. Have a great day. 7-3.
Yep, 7.3. Okay, here's K0JTA. This is the software-defined radio group, SDR group. And anybody else would like to join in, I'll let you do that. It will be a good time. Over. Mike 1, Charlie Victor Zulu. Really rough. I think that's you, Mike. But do I have a relay on Charlie Victor Zulu? Over. Nothing. CVZ, go ahead there, Mike. K0JTA, over. Yeah, it's just too rough for me to copy. I can hear Charlie Victor Zulu, but that's about it. So thanks very much, Mike, for the attempt. I do appreciate it. Nice to have you aboard. Over. Nothing else heard here. Okay, Lou, anything from down there? I'll just kind of pass around the horn. We still have WB6JFH here too. KI6UM, K0JTA. Go ahead there, Lou, if you're still there. Over.
Okay, K0JTA and the software-defined radio group, KI6UM. No, I have nothing to add. I'm going to be signing here. And I had good copy on you, so the band was favoring us today. And I'm also listening on the Utah Web SDR, so I had a good copy on David as well. So I'll say my 7-3 for now. I wish you a good week, and looking forward to meet again next Sunday. K0JTA and the rest of the listeners on the software-defined radio group, KI6UM. 7-3, Mike.
Okay, real good. Yeah, nice signal, nice signal. Well, I was watching here on the Utah SDR, the web SDR, and I don't see the signal there. I'm not able to hear it, but if I could turn my volume up and tolerate the feedback, then I might be able to hear something in there. But with the present setting that I guess I have on this end here, I guess I can adjust the sensitivity and things like that. At any rate, I'm seeing my signal looks quite robust and filled up, but I'm not seeing a darn thing there. So it's probably my setting on this end here. Nice to have you aboard, Lou, and we'll see you next time then. KI6UM 73U, thank you very much. 73 K0JTA, over. Okay, WB6JFH, Mr. David, go ahead.
K0JTA, WB6JFH. You had a W4 calling you as well. I'm using the other guy was the K97. And obviously, was calling, so maybe I want to try and give him a call and then give him back. K0JTA, WB6JFH, software design music. Go ahead.
Okay, real good. I'll give him a shot then. I did not hear a darn thing unless I just maybe it was covered or whatever like that. W4 or K4, a 4 station that was trying to check in, please try once again. K0JTA is listening. Over. Too weak. Pick him up, David. Over.
Juliet Foxtrot Hotel. I'm here in Spokane, the state of Washington. Here just about my noise level. I've got some of that. I understand that you're running a KX3, but that's not all I got. If you copy me, go ahead. This is WB6JFH. Okay, Rick. I copied most of that. They sound really nice. Stuff like that. And understand you're in Georgia, so it was you're here. You found it. That's for this turbine. Those up here. I copied most of that, and sounds good. So hope you have a good afternoon there, and thanks for checking in. This is WV6JFA Express. All right, 73s, and have a good afternoon. K0JTA, back to you. Go ahead.
Okay, real good. Well, thanks for picking up. Yeah, I couldn't hear a darn thing here, and I tried the other receiver here too, just to see if I could pick it up, but it just was not going to work. So, okie doke, real good. Well, thanks very much for the trial. All right. By the way, let's see. There's my clock here. Where is it? Yeah, almost 1 o'clock. I have to be shoving off here. I have another duty that I have to attend to, but it's almost 1 o'clock. I can give a few minutes here, but do keep that in mind. But at any rate, good afternoon to you again. Nice to have you on. What's new on your end, I guess, basically, over?
Okay, I have just a little bit of information on we had the meeting Thursday, and it looks like one of the questions we had was connected to the internet. Normally, with our it's not the standalone system. So there's no help there as far as remote communication. We do have a county satellite link that connects into the internet, and it's a good possibility we can use that to connect the two. So bottom line is, Mesh Network isn't going to help me for implementation. I can see at the top of the hour, so we'll go ahead and secure and maybe catch up and give you more information next week. K0JTA in the group, WV6JFA.
Okay, real good. By the way, the top of the hour has to do with, I think, 2 p.m. my time, so it's a little bit early for that other group to join in. Am I correct in that, or am I misleading you? Over?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said the other group was going to be starting here soon. Sorry, misunderstood, Mike. So we have a little bit more time to talk about that.
Yep. No, it's just that my personal schedule here dictates that I should get off my butt here and go elsewhere, to make a long story short. That's all. So, yeah, we can take a few minutes here. That's for darn sure. Okay, so you have the meeting Thursday, all right. Connecting to the internet basically is going to be no help or possibility. And then you're talking about something about a county-wide situation. That's rather interesting. Okay, so the county-wide situation, is that something where you would be able to have traditional, common, maybe limited, but at least some common home access to the internet? WV6JFH and the SDR group. This is K0JTA. Go ahead, David. Over.
K0JTA in the group, WV6JFH. Yes, the network using Arden as a standalone system. It's like we would have our own internet, high-speed internet to connect like hospitals and the Red Cross and, things like that. The county of Spokane has a satellite system, and that connects to the internet. And the two would play together in an emergency. But in normal operation, the satellite system is stored away in a garage somewhere downtown, only brought out in an emergency. So the mesh networking using RDOF will not be connected to the internet unless in an emergency. And like I said, the access would be the satellite system. So as far as remoting my station, there's no help there. I also looked into the MFJ 1234, and they have a huge backlog. did an invention back in May. It just shot up, like the 7300s, they can't make enough of them. And so there would be a long backlog to get that. So I didn't place an order because he couldn't couldn't give me any shipping dates or anything like that to purchase the stuff. So I guess I'm just going to have to wait a little bit more and figure out what to do with that system. I did talk to Rob, W7RF, the guy that you sent the email to. Got up with him last Monday. And he has some of the equipment that we're probably going to use for the mesh network. And when we started talking about remoting, he had thought about giving me some extra stuff, giving me some and see if we could connect with that. But then I realized that the hill between us would kill anything on 2.9 gigahertz to 5 gigahertz. The common frequency Wi-Fi, stuff like that. There would be no chance of getting the signal through. So he stopped thinking about that because he knew it didn't work. So he's thinking, he's like, he's flying along. Yeah, but he's thinking about, is there something else we could do or use to get me to promote my station? And he knows about the 1, 2, 3, 4 and stuff like that, but I don't think he knows that they're backlogged so badly. So anyway, I'm a holding pattern again for remoting my station. But there's promising stuff out there like the MSJ device. And as for the mesh network, there really is no help there to connect to the internet unless to get the satellite dish out, and that will only be in emergencies or exercises and things like that. So it'll be a help for us in an emergency situation, but it's not going to be user-friendly for doing anything else. So that's what I wanted to share with you. As I learn more, I'll give you some more information about what we're doing. How Arden plays into all this stuff and things like that. K0JTA, WB6JF in this group. Go ahead.
Okay, all good. WB6JF in the SDR group. This is K0 Juliet Tango Alpha. Yep. Okay, and the Arden, which is a mesh standalone, no internet access, except in some cases like you were explaining here a week or two back, as I recall. But at any rate, but for your particular use or needs, it's a non-event or it's not going to be possible. Okay, and that's counting having a satellite with internet service, but they're only going to bring it out in emergencies. Yeah, so that's another one that would be really cool. But I mean, it's not something that would be of use to you. So that's another big X on that one. And okay, on the MFJ 1, 2, 3, 4 having a backlog. Well, once again, rather than ordering the 1, 2, 3, 4 from MFJ, I simply placed an order for the SD card, and that was $40. Actually, by the time the shipping was there, it was $44, which I thought was quite reasonable. And if you join the RigPi user group, I think I had sent you the link to that. And do a search for RigPi and user group, and you'll be able to come to it. Or just simply look up RigPi, and you'll come to a page that has all kinds of really, really good information. One point of which would be that it would be describing the user group and a whole bunch more. A lot of good information there. Let's see. Anyway, by just ordering just the SD card, you do have to put that into a Raspberry Pi 3B, and they're about $35 or so. But you just have to buy the Raspberry Pi at $35 or so from Amazon or eBay, things like that. That's a new price. Then you do have to have a little power supply though, a 5.1 volt, 2.5 amp power supply. But so the total investment of the hardware then would be under $50, and the SD card with the shipping is $44. So it would be less money to get the SD card and put that into your own Raspberry Pi. The MFJ 1234 simply has the Raspberry Pi and 2 additional cards. One is an audio card, and the other one is a CW card. But as far as I can tell, most all the proceedings and functions are available and are operational with just the Raspberry Pi, because most modern equipment has a USB interface, and that's what's required for most of the operation. The other boards, I think, have to do with more direct hookups for some particularly complex keying lash-ups, perhaps, or for radios that require a direct audio hookup, things like that. Push-to-talk feedback, not feedback, push-to-talk, audio in and out, things like that, as far as I understand. But if you have a relatively modern radio that has a USB connection, the chances are very, very good that that's all covered there. Once again, if you go to the Raspberry Pi, not the Raspberry, to the RigPi website, it'll tell you what's required, what the hardware is workable with, and things like that. And okay, and talking to your friend Rob there, okay, real good on that. Yeah, as far as a loan of equipment, that'd be a great experiment, but really just pretty much a guaranteed non-failure. But you need, guaranteed failure rather. And okay, he knows about the MFJ 1234. Well, the problem is with the 1234, to make it work, you do need the internet service. So if you have the 1234, you're still dead in the water. You do need the internet service so that the thing can be accessed then from, in your case, the infusion center or the dialysis center. So that's the big thing. Now, once again, Rob has internet service from his friend, and apparently he is unable to or unwilling to allow his friend to contact you or you to contact the friend so that you could have the same kind of a service. Apparently this is a dead issue then and not a possible issue. I know that it would be quite a favor, but well, you need a favor, I guess, basically. So that's why I keep pushing on this particular one. The only other thing that comes up would be the possibility of like what I'm using here, which is a wireless internet service. So our service comes in on 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. In my case, I'm using the 5 gigahertz service, but 2.4 is also available. The 2.4 has the advantage of having a better penetration, better range through trees and things like that. The 5 gigahertz does not have quite the range, but it's certainly good for me here. And it has a wider bandwidth through which, of course, I really don't need. WB6JFH and the SDR group, K0JTA. Go ahead there, David. Over.
K0JTA in the group, WB6JFH. Okay. The service that Rob had I was given misinformation about that. He has to pay for the service. It's not what I was told by a friend, that he has to pay for the service. And it's not a friend, so that's the reason why that won't work. Because he's actually using what's called Terra up here. It's a wide area net on 2.4 gigahertz that provides internet, high-speed internet for the people around you. These are people that said, wouldn't work for me because I'm in a grove of trees. And I argued that I had power, I had trees and hills, there was a driveway, but they didn't want to do it. Okay, so that's out. That stuff is out. Okay, as far as getting across the hill with his this mesh stuff, it's from a company called Ubiquitous, and they make the Airmax stuff, and there's Rocket, and there's all kinds of names for the products that they have. That won't work because of the hill. The hill would just kill the signal. Okay, so I'm still stuck with my hotspot, which is broadband but not necessarily high speed. I'm also limited to the number of gigabytes per month, which I found out the other day that it upped me to 10 gigabytes, so I have a little bit more than I thought I had. but that still may not be enough to run a remote to the plenty all time. You know, all 12 or 13 sessions. You know, depends on how the muscle goes out. So that still is the limiting factor. Is using up all that data so fast that I run out. As for the 123 and the SD card, I thought about getting the card because I still have the Pi controller for the Apache Lab radio, which has the Raspberry Pi in it. It's a 3, but I don't think it's the B version, just the 3. And when I looked up the system, all it said is the Raspberry Pi. It didn't give whether it was 3B, or I guess it's 4 up now. It didn't say, all it said was the Raspberry Pi. So I need to get into the group, the one that you look to, and see, does it have to be a 3B or what? A 3 works. So I could buy the SD card, replace the card that's in my controller that has the Raspbian and the SDR software on it. For this, it already has the 5-volt supply and power. It has the screen and connection for, keyboard. Now has Wi-Fi. People say that it's not very good. I've never had any problem with it. So the question then is that if I use the SDR radio, which, 7,000, which doesn't have audio in and out in the back. It has audio out, but not audio in. So you can't put the audio out from the radio to like a sound card or an interface. So you have to use the IQ stuff, which I don't know how to use. And with my Pi controller for the radio, there's no sound card in it that, you would buy with the 1, 2, 3, 4 to do, and it says in the listing to use that to do IQ for software defined radio. So how do I do that with the SDR Pi controller I have now? Even if the board is not powerful enough, it has to be the 3B. So I have to go and do some research on this and find out whether that would even work or not. If it would, that would be an obvious solution. I could leave my controller running here at home, connect to the SDR radio, you connect that to my hotspot, and at least maybe once a week I'd be able to remote my station or something like that, and not use up all my data. So those are the issues that I'm looking at right now. I hope that helps you.
Okay, real good. WB6JFH, the SDR group. This is K0JTA. I'm going to take just a very short standby just in case somebody would like to join in. K0JTA is standing by. Over. Not heard. Okay, go with my notes here. Okay, so Rob's service is a paid-for service then. What is the cost of that service and what is the name of the service? Over.
The service is Altera. I'd have to look up to spell it to you. It's the answer to the people that are out in the country. They don't want high-speed internet. But like I said, they won't deal with me because they use real old. They see that I live above the tree, and the tree can just help me. The cost would be comparable to what I have now. $50 for unlimited data. And high speed. So friends of mine that live closer to the mountain that is on than I do, well actually the hill, they use it for Netflix, watching movies, and then he does coin appraisals, so as a side business, and he uses it for that. Because it works great, stuff like that. But they won't deal with me, you know, because they see I'm in the trees, and that's the end of it. You know, I've argued with them that I have a tower, they could put it on the tower, you know, 54-foot tower, so it's high enough. But they can't climb towers because of insurance issues and stuff like that. You know, in case the tower falls over or they fall off. And I told them that there's, you know, from my driveway, just outside my front windows, I can see the hill that the equipment's on. So that's fine and nice. But they can't see that in their videos or their Google Earth issues, so they won't deal with me. So anyway, I feed in an unlimited Davis for $50. Right now, the hotspot that I use is 10 gigabytes for $50. You know, this is an ATT hotspot. So I hope that answers your question. Go ahead.
Yep, and except for one thing, what is the name of the company? You said it very quickly, and I missed the name of the company. Over.
The company is called K0JTA. Yeah, let me get my phone out because I don't remember how to spell it. So stand by.
Okay, real good. I'll stand by for that then. Real good. All right, thank you for that. Over.
Okay, Mike. It's spelled P, Papa, Tango, Echo, Romeo, Alpha. K0JTA Wireless. Did you copy? Go ahead.
Okay, I copied Papa, Tango, Echo, Romeo, Alpha. Is that correct? Over.
Roger. Go ahead.
Okay, 5 letters. Papa, Tango, Echo, Romeo, Alpha. Over.
That's right. Yeah, that's the name of the company. And it's called, you know, last name is Wireless. Go ahead.
Wireless, okay. I guess that would be good enough then. So, real good. I'm just going to see if I can figure out on this end here just for the heck of it. So, yeah, real good. All right. Yeah, all right. So then that takes care of that then. All right, and so Rob's service is paid for, not a friend, this kind of stuff. So then he is using, is Rob using K0JTA wireless service, or what is Rob using then? Over.
Yes, he's using K0JTA. He lives, you know, 2.5 miles from me, like you did when you did the Google Earth. And he has a clear, open shot to the hill. The hill's called Lookout. And it's about, I guess 10 miles from us or so, maybe 15. It's called Lookout. We have a fire lookout up there. You know, when we moved up here, we could see the fire lookout, and then the DNR people and the fire watch people decided to discontinue lookouts and just fly airplanes around and get a much better, you know, wider view of what the forest and stuff look like. So, but anyway, he has a straight shot to it. There is another company up here called Airpipe. Alpha India Romeo, Alpha India Papa Echo, Airpipe. And I contacted them. They're on a different hill. And they said the same thing, because I'm in a grove of trees. They don't want to deal with me either. You know, I haven't contacted Hughes Satellite, but they're very expensive. For the plan that I have now would be over $100 for the satellite stuff. And, you know, I can't afford that right at the moment, so I haven't contacted them. I have a feeling that they'll tell me the same thing. And their system would have to work through the trees, but now they have to go 25,000 miles. If I can't go 15 miles to the trees, you know, 20,000 miles isn't going to cut it. So anyway, I I just haven't contacted them because I figured that that's not going to work at all. I'll get the same thing that I did from the other two companies. And that's all we have up here. K0JTA, WB6JFH.
Okay, real good. And I got the second company. By the way, this is K0JTA. I got the second company as air pipe, but same kind of thing. Hughes Network, yeah, that would work, but the problem is it's really expensive. My son was on it for a while, and it worked, but the problem is the latency was too bad for him because he needed to be able to access his work computer from home, and so the latency was the big thing, as well as the cost. So, but I'm sure that the Hughes network would work because that's a satellite thing, and so as long as you can see the sky, you should be able to find some spot where the satellite antenna can be located. I've seen people where they would have this kind of a lash up, and they would, well, a friend of mine, for example, had his down there by the river, by the Mississippi River, because he was in very, very, very tightly nested trees. In your case, I can see your house, so at least your house would be exposed enough, I think, to be able to have the antenna up there and still get a look at the Hughes satellite system. But in his case, his house was a mobile home, trailer home, and it was completely covered by trees, very dense trees, so using Google Earth and things like that, you could not see his structure. Also, by being at his house, you could not see the sky pretty much, so his lawn was basically nothing. His lawn would not even grow. He had so much coverage. So, all right, well, that's the way it goes. Okay, and Rob using Patera then. All right, so that's interesting. $50, yeah, that's darn close. That'd be a lot of money, but I guess that's what you're paying right now for your 10 gig per month, which is nice that it's bumped up to 10 gig. Yeah, there's another company. I just was given exposure to it here sometime back, and I went to the site, and so I'm getting advertisements. 4 letters. Begins with the letter T as in Tango. That's all I can tell you. I think that's what it is. But it was offering basically cell service, but the cell service phone had unlimited data, and the cell phone then was, they would permit tethering. Whereas in my case, I'm using TracFone. TracFone will not allow me to tether. In other words, with the tethering, you would duplicate what you have there with your hotspot. Now that used, I think it was a Sprint network. It was another company, kind of like Straight Talk, but it wasn't Straight Talk. It was another company, 4 letters, and they were basically selling a phone, but the phone was tetherable, and as a result then, you'd be able to use the phone then as a hotspot or a phone, So kind of interesting there. Let's see. All right, so now using your Wi-Fi hotspot, $10 or $50 a month for $10 for 10 gigabytes per month. That's a nice figure, by the way, because I know when we go camping, we pay $50 for 5 gig, and so yeah. Well, at any rate, let's see, SD card, look at your thing there. I think actually you can use the Pi 3, the 3B, I'm not sure what the difference was. There wasn't anything really dramatic operationally. It might be something like maybe two of the USB ports may be USB 3 as opposed to being USB 2, but for the Rig Pi function, USB 2 is plenty. So I think that you'd be in good shape there just by getting the SD card, and once again that would cost you a total of $44, including the shipping from MFJ. That might be easier to get to. In my case, I think I had to wait maybe 3 weeks to get my SD card, but at least I did go ahead and place the order. Then I finally did get it, put it in, it does work. So that's the deal there. As far as you're using your Anon 7000 as a remote, no audio in and out, I'm pretty darn sure you do have that on the back. There's a large connector, DB25 style. I don't know if there's a correct name for it actually, but it's a DB style connector, 25 pins, and I'm quite sure that push to talk and audio in and audio out are available there. You would not have to entertain the IQ, the incidence and quadrature. You could, but that would be just more work for you. WB6JFH, K0JTA, over.
K0JTA group, WB6JFH. Okay, Mike, yeah. As far as the disconnect and clusters, and there's a config screen you can go and set it up so that you can send data to satisfy on the antenna tuner. You're telling the antenna tuner what band you're going to change bands on the radio. And that's what I understand that's for. There's phone plugs, or phono plugs, like we used to use in the stereo days, in the back, and that's where we have the switches on, so you can either use a foot switch or something like that. And it does have, if I remember right, it does have audio out, but it doesn't have audio in. At least I don't remember ever seeing that in the user guide. So there's no, if I'm going to do this, I need both paths. And nobody has ever talked about in the user group about ever using those things for, like FT8 or any other digital modes, because they always use back or voice meter banana and stuff like that, and use the virtual audio cable method to connect everything up. And I understand both back, the software, and voice meter banana have IQ functions in them, which I guess you would get to through the maybe USB port on the computer. See, this is the part I don't know. And then the controller, or the MSJ device, in the literature it says one of the options is buying the audio board, which does the IQ stuff. So what does that all mean? I don't know that either. So, the question becomes, how do I connect the SDR radio to the 123 MSJ device? Now, if I were to use my FT900, then it'd be all straightforward, because there's audio in and out access port right on the back. That's how I use RDOF and Olivia and all the other modes, stuff like that. And so my Pi controller, like I bought the sound card dongle for it. And so if I use the other radio, all that would be pretty straightforward. Just connect a bunch of cables together and I'm on the air. So those are the things. So like I said, I need to go onto their website and search through it and see, how people do this stuff. What is the software and connections and, the mechanics, as I call it, of setting this all up. Because it's an area I don't know, hardly know anything about. It's just like the networking, networking. I know very little about networking, because I never had to deal with them. When I was working at Hewlett-Packard, I was working on signal generators, modulation analyzers, and power meters, spectrum analyzers, things like that, and there was no network. So I didn't have the opportunity to learn about networking. Even Wi-Fi at home, I don't know enough to even set one up. So anyway, so it's just my lack of knowledge, and I'll have to do my homework to see if I could buy the car, because I'd like to buy the car. And since I have my controller, which has the screen, has all the connections for the mouse and keyboard, has the 5-volt supply to power it, so it runs off a 12% regulator. It's all set up to do this stuff, except for the IQ stuff. So that's where I'm lost as well. So like I said, I got to go to that website and start doing the research to see if it's possible to set this all up. I got to believe it is. I just don't know how to do it, stuff like that. So anyway, I hope that helps, Mike. And I hope I'm not rambling too badly here. Either KTA or WB6JFH7.
WB6GFH, this is K0JTA. No, that's fine, that's fine. I appreciate your input on this kind of stuff. Just looking here on the internet, I don't see anything so far as those pins. I brought up the user guide, you might say, for the 7000 DLE, which I believe has the standard pin arrangement for all of their radios, like the 100, the 200 DLE, and the 200, whatever it is, you know, yeah, the 7000 and 8000. I think the pin arrangement there, I believe, has got some heritage, if not being exactly the same. So I'd be really surprised if you wouldn't be able to get your audio out through there. And yes, when I was running my Flex equipment remotely, I was using Skype for the sound and TeamViewer for the video. TeamViewer, though, does take up more bandwidth, and that's another reason why. I have several reasons, but one of them is that the program called AnyDesk, 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 like any old desk. AnyDesk, all one word, takes very, very little bandwidth per second or minute, and so that would be another thing as far as my consideration when I'm camping and things like that. Of course, then we're using this same kind of a saddle, because it would be on the 5 gig package there for $50, which is kind of on the expensive side. So, yeah. I have seen words, and I cannot tell you anything more beyond it, I guess, basically. Sorry to say. But what do you call it? Can't think of the term now. Yeah. Senior moment here, I guess, like they say, like you had gone through earlier. Well, at any rate, I lost my train of thought there completely. Oh yeah, on the user group for the RigPi, and that's what you want to start there. You know, join the RigPi user group, or simply look up RigPi, and the website there is quite extensive, very, very well done. The guy that actually has my stuff on my screen just disappeared all of a sudden. Not sure what that's all about, but the clock is still running. Anyway, but the guy's name is Howard Nurse, and I can't think of he's something. I think it may be a K6HN or KH6HN. I don't know. But anyway, Howard Nurse is his name. Very skilled person. He's the guy that actually has. He's the author of the RigPi application. So. That'll really be your best bet. Well, next time you go into the dialysis center, bring your tablet along, or computer, but tablet would be just nice as far as being handy. Bring that along and do a search for RigPi. You'll find one of the items there will be a website, and the symbol that you want to look for is the symbol pi, but it's got a rig built into it. Also, the legs of the pi symbol have, rather than just a straight line going down, it has a capacitor in there. So it's a kind of unique looking, cute little symbol. At any rate, it's just one little hint that might be of some use to you. WB6GFH, K0JTA, over.
K0JTA, WB6GFH. They don't want to hold you any longer than you have to. You need to step away from the radio, take care of other duties, and please let me know. Anyway, so, yeah. I and so I went there that day, and there was a video, and the guy you were talking about, Howard, and there was a short video he was talking about. He had a hand that dude, something like that. And so that guy and so I saw the link to the RigPi people and stuff like that. I just haven't gone there yet. I was concentrating last week on the Mesh Network and the meeting coming up. Didn't get a chance to get over to start looking at the high stuff and things like that. Since our next meeting won't be for 2 weeks now. in some people have some accident, stuff like that. I'm not one of them, so I can now start looking up this other stuff, see what I can find, and how to do this, and all that good information that's on there, that kind of stuff. There is another system. It's called CAM-WIM. CAM-WIM. W-A-N. WIM. And this is the system that's already set up right now. And I mentioned that probably last week or a couple weeks ago. Another hand has set that up. Well, it turns out the Arden and CAM-WIM are not compatible with each other. And so we thought, at first we thought maybe we could link to him, because CAM-WIM is the whole thing with Amazon is to give you a high-speed internet access through over-the-air stuff. Like a big Wi-Fi type thing. And the guy that's running that, he's interested in what we're doing, but he told us it wasn't compatible. So I could still, right, definitely. He's in a busy people. And see if I could do the remoting through him. And have to have set up some equipment and stuff like that. Probably some of the same stuff that the mesh networking people are talking about. The ubiquitous stuff and things like that. And possibly be able to work through him. So that's another possibility that I haven't explored yet. So they thought that network might take care of my needs, but now I'm finding that no, it won't. At least not for my thing, for modem. For emergency communication, it's going to work great. It's high-speed internet. So the hospitals have to send a message to each other. It's going to be like a blink of an eye type thing, versus using the modes that the hands are using now, which is more like you can have a cup of coffee before the message is through, unpack it or backdoor or whatever. So that would be a win-win there for that kind of communication. And it turns out we can use software to use the system and send messages, because it's already got the forms in, like the ICS form, instrument trans, system stuff. So it's all set up to do that. So that'll work out as well. So we'll see. If we look like we're going to go ahead with it, we're going to do a demonstration to the bigwig here in town, head of the Department of Emergency Managers for that transport. And if he buys into it, or she, I don't know, I've never met the person, then there might be funds for us to purchase the equipment, the antennas, and then start setting up the networking stuff. So, so we're working on that, so that'll be the first step for the ARC system. And then I'll see if I can get a hold of, his name is Rod, Romeo Oscar Delta, instead of Rob, Romeo Oscar Bravo, and talk to him a little bit, see what he thinks about setting me up for promoting the station, and whether we need to work because of the tree issue and stuff like that. So anyway, so that's another option. The last option is to do what you did, TeamViewer or any desk type, and just go with that. And then load those on the tablet, run it that way. K0JTA, WB6JF was another long transmission. Hope I didn't lose you. All right, go ahead.
No, still got you fine here, so no problems, no issues. So that's you're doing okay. Let's see, I'm trying to open this thing up here. Another one. I did look in the Canon user guide here, and the rear panel mic and headphone connections are shown. So, for example, pin 23 and 11, that's for that's for your stereo headset, and pin 12 is a mic input, and 12, and actually 25 if you're using, I guess, I'm not sure what. And got the PTT in on pin 13, so it definitely is there. You got audio in and out of, from that DB25 connector on the back of the radio. So it is possible. So that would be something to go there. Yep. Okay. And and the local thing. Well, it doesn't sound very promising yet, even. But it's another avenue. But like that ham WAN that you're talking about, nice nifty app for linking. High-speed access, but it's not compatible with what you're going to be using. So, yeah, you're just going to be pretty much going to have to stick to something, unless you can find somebody you can share with. You're going to have to stick to something that would be a commercial enterprise, like what you have right now. But the thing is that commercial enterprise that you're paying for right now is awfully darn expensive. I think the throughput, though, once you, let's see, if you did have the Rig Pi set up at your home, and that's being fed to the internet or coupled to the internet with your hotspot, the throughput requirements are really quite minimal. That's the thing that was really very attractive to me. Among other things, many things were attractive, but the thing is it's not a data hog, to make a long story short. So in your case where you're addressing the data usage, like I would be doing when I go camping, it's a win-win situation. So that's a great thing. So yeah, go on the internet and look up Rig Pi. But the other thing is that you do have the audio inputs and outputs from the what do you call it? Your analog radio by that DB25 connector. So you got audio in, audio out. Mic in, and audio out, and push to talk, and that's all you're going to need. So you'd be able to directly hook this up to the the Raspberry Pi. Now I'm not sure though if the Raspberry Pi then, if you would need one of these boards, there are the extra boards, the one for CW, one for something else. They're available, and I think they're like $69. Now you may need one of those boards because I do know that you can buy a cable, and the cable comes from FJ, or you can build your own, and that cable then would be hooked to the Raspberry Pi somehow. I don't know how. I think that was available on the users group as far as that goes, because I think I had a diagram of that someplace. Anyway, so yeah, I better wrap things up here. Thanks very much for the chat. Nice to hear you, and I'll talk to you again next week, unless something else comes up. I better go here though. WB6JFH, good afternoon to you. K0JTA, I'll be clearing your file then, over.
K0JTA. One quick question for you. Do you have a 25-pin connector on the back of your 7000? Go ahead.
I haven't looked, but I'm quite sure I do, over.
Okay, you have a later version of the radio. I don't. I have a 9-pin connector back there. And that's for controlling like an amplifier or something like that. I don't have a 25-pin connector on this radio. I have RCA plugs to plug in for doing the push to talk, like using a push switch or something like that. And there's a couple other things that come out. But I don't have a 25-pin background back. So that must be a change from the first radio that were shipped, serial number 25. So it's in that first group. They must have changed things along the way and added some features on the back that I don't have. So let me ask another question. Do you have the two phone plugs for the left and right speakers? Go ahead.
I'm going to have to go look. And by the way, I just looked at some diagrams here. I got the 7000 DLE user guide. Yeah, it's got the DB9 or DB15. It's a smaller connector. It's not the DB25, so you're very correct on that, over.
Okay, so You kept saying, pin 13 and stuff like that. I don't have a pin 13. I think that's a 9-pin connector. And so there is no pin 13. So anyway, it's confusing. And in the middle of the back, below all the PNC connectors, is small. There's 6 of them that are the RCA phono plugs. Not phone plugs, the phono plugs. The ones, like I said, we used to connect the turntable to the stereo system and, tape decks and things like that. There's 6 of those. One of them for push to talk for, like a foot mic or something like that. The other one is the key to the amplifier, which I'm assuming you're using to key your signal. And there's a couple other functions there, but there is no actual audio in and out like you would have an accessory plug on radio like I have on 900, stuff like that. The manual doesn't show it. So, the other guy doesn't show it. And I assume that's because everybody uses that. Like we were doing when we were on live stream. So. And I could never get back to work, so I went to voice meter banana, and that works for like PSA 3 Olivia. I could never get ours off to work, so I believe that's a timing issue between the radio and the software. Because ours off of the ARQ mode, which means it's automatic error correction, like the internet is. And that's all timing. And I just haven't found the settings that will get the timing for the radio to work with the software. Keep trying. I think I'm getting a little bit closer, but still no cigar. Anyway, so I'll look into that group next week. I don't know if it's today, but tomorrow. Because I don't have to do anything now for the rest stuff until the next meeting. And so I'll see what they have to say, see if I could use the controller and just buy the SD card, plug it in, and use that controller, and live with my hotspot, make it work that way. So anyway, I know you got to run. Other group spots are coming up, so we'll chat more next week, and hope you have a good week. Hope that all your doctor visits and medical are doing okay for you. K0JTA, WB6JF 8773. Yeah, we feel it.
Okay, real good. Yep. And I went around the back side here, got a flashlight so I could see the back of my radio, and yes, first off, it's got the DB style connector and their open collector outputs. I don't think they're inputs. I don't know, but they're open collector outputs, at least in quite a few of the cases. So that's all I can tell you. So, yep, too darn bad. Well, at any rate, I don't know what else to consider. You could sell your Apache and get yourself an IC7300, which is just all that requires is a standard printer style USB port, and that hooks to the radio, and that's an easy hookup and things like that. I have hooked mine up. I have not gotten mine to work, but I have not had the time to pursue it, so that's as far as I can go. But that would be another thought. But if you sold your Apache Labs radio, you could buy a couple of the 7300s, and 700 is a pretty darn nice little radio, so I like it. At any rate, by the way, my 7000 is for sale, so if you notice, I was looking $2,000 and share the shipping, so on the Apache Labs and 7000 DLE. All right, 7-3 then, nice chat, and I'm going to have to cut it off. 7-3, K0JTA, over.
Actually, I'm waiting for software-defined radio. They don't know. They might have a very big price tag on that. So, like 7610 you have. What I moved out 7,000 is probably as good, maybe still better than what the commercial guys are making. generally don't want to go that route, but if I really want to try and do those nuggets, I might have to go that way. Anyway, chat later. Have a good rest of the afternoon and rest of the week. K0JTA, WB6JFHC 73.
I'm just sending a link here to the rigpie.net, so you'll check your email. We'll do that when you're next time you're in the dialysis center, and read through there. Lots and lots and lots and lots of information there, and that should answer all of your questions. But yeah, getting another radio would be another option, or selling or patching labs, things like that. 7-3 then, K0JTA, K0JTA, bye-bye.